As New World screwworm gets closer to the United States, groups like OSU Extension, veterinarians, and the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture are working together on educational efforts on behalf of our state. SUNUP's Curtis Hare picks it up from here.
Detected in Oklahoma.
It's a pest the United States hasn't had to deal with in decades, but that could soon change. The New World screwworm. But today, efforts are underway to train those who will have to respond in case the pest makes its way to Oklahoma.
This isn't a problem we've had to deal with in the United States since the early 80s because of an eradication program that was in place, but screwworms have been moving north since 2023 from the permanent quarantine zone in Panama, and they are now in central Mexico, threatening to enter the United States. So we have a workshop going on today that our Department of Entomology and Plant Pathology has been planning since the fall, and we have extension area specialists from around the state, some extension faculty here. We've also got a lot of the livestock and wildlife inspectors.
New World screwworm is an issue for all warm-blooded animals, even us. But OSU Extension livestock entomologist Dr. Jonathan Cammack says in the U.S., it's mainly a concern for wildlife and livestock.
Probably anybody that has read a news article or looked at the news online or even watched the nightly news has probably seen something about screwworms. So this is a pest of essentially all mammals, but we're concerned about it throughout a lot of the United States because it's a pest issue with livestock and a pest issue with wildlife. So this fly will lay its eggs on open wounds on animals. Those eggs will hatch into larvae, and the larvae will consume that living tissue on the animal. So we can see huge losses in livestock production and wildlife quality of life. So we've got presentations on biology, monitoring, trapping, what the state of Oklahoma is going to be doing to prepare for New World screwworms.
I'm only going to touch on a few of these. I'd be here all day if I was.
It's really important from the State Veterinarian's office standpoint that we have collaboration and coordination with all of our potential response partners so that everyone's on the same page as far as how we're going to respond, what response looks like.
Alicia Gorczyca-Southerland is the Deputy State Veterinarian with the Oklahoma Department of Agriculture, Food, and Forestry and is one of the speakers at today's workshop. Since the New World screwworm has not been an issue in over 30 years in the U.S., she says trainings like this are essential for combating the issue.
A lot of the individuals in this room have never even seen really what even a preserved specimen is going to be the closest thing to the real thing that we have. I mean, for example, I've never seen that, so I'm really excited to kind of see what that looks like and learn to identify those specimens. This morning is more classroom work, learning about the biology and ecology of the actual fly. Learning about response from the state and USDA, but then this afternoon we're getting that opportunity to actually look at specimens, learn how to develop traps for that, learn the best location for those traps.
Using beta glue traps, participants get a close look at what goes into taking samples in the field. Although screwworm is not present in the U.S., blowflies are collected and then taken back to the classroom to compare and contrast with screwworm samples.
They're also going to have the opportunity to remove those insects from the traps and then learn how to identify them under a microscope. There are a lot of flies in the environment that look similar to screwworms. So the people that are attending this workshop, so our livestock inspectors, our extension area specialists, and some of our College of Veterinary Medicine parasitologists are learning kind of the tips and tricks to separate screwworms from non-screwworms.
My agency is very limited in staff, and so this is going to be a response that's going to require a lot of people, a lot of individuals helping, and so the more trained personnel that we have, the better we're going to, and more quickly and efficiently we're going to be able to respond to it.
There are a lot of moving parts to this, right? The state of Oklahoma will not be responding to a potential screwworm outbreak alone. We'll be working very closely with some of our federal partners, with USDA, and also with the other states that surround us, because it likely will not be just an Oklahoma issue. So anything that we can do to get some of our extension personnel, some of our ODAF personnel trained and brought up to speed on the issue that we are currently facing is going to help us be able to effectively respond to this issue.
In Payne County, I'm Curtis Hare.